What are you doing, Cortez? Don't you know you've got a world engine to finish? You've got the town in the crashed airship to finish. What are you thinking? But, such a nice space. Space. So we're over here at the crashed airship, guys. I'm down below doing some half slabbing, and I've really cleaned up this room. I've fixed all the walls up so we're not getting anyone spawning up there, and I'm just looking at this area thinking, well, this is too good to pass up. So if we come up here, you'll see where I've been working at the town in the airship. So make sure nothing's going to spawn on these. So it's up there. And I just thought, well, I've got the road coming out in this direction. I could wind it down here and, yeah, we can have a bit of fun in this area. You see, I was watching Stargate the other day. And, like, you might know of Stargate. You've probably seen the TV series. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the original motion picture that the TV series was based on. Now, I watched that film probably once every 5 years or so, and it's good that way because I've forgotten half of the stuff that happens in it, but it still stands up today. It's a great film. You should check it out if you haven't seen it. Maybe I'm just one of these old fogies. I think I saw it in the cinema. So, but yeah, I kind of want to build not an exact replica of the temple in Stargate, but just like my own impression of the big temple inside that the spaceship lands on, and we'll have the big Stargate in the back wall there. And what is going to be coming out of the Stargate? Well, an invasion, of course. A space invasion, that's right. We're putting Space Invaders in here. So Techno Gizmo's got his Donkey Kong game just over the hill there. So why not put another game in? So you might be thinking, well, gee, Cortez, we've been there, done that. We've already seen Space Invaders. You've got a tutorial for it. Why build it here? Well, I've compacted the design so much, it's not going to take me long to build. And this episode isn't about the game. It's about the room that I'm putting it in. And, oh no, I haven't got any pearls. And I don't think I have a way up there. Alrighty. We're going to try and fly. Still been having trouble. Where can I take off from? Oh, you beauty, first time. So yeah, this episode isn't going to be about the game. It's about the room that I'm putting it in, the temple for the Stargate. So I'm going to put the game in as quickly as I can. I've got it compacted pretty good now, and then we'll have some fun. And yes, I've been doing a tiny bit of work here, putting the rib cage on the airship, just so it looks like it has some structure. The thing would look like it would fall apart without these, but got a lot more of them to do, but we'll do that another time. I really need to build an elytra launcher down here. This thing's such a rabbit warren. It's hard to remember the way up. I think I go this way. So for this build, I'm going to be using sandstone. I think that's pretty appropriate. Do I go out here? Yes, I do. And I have so much sandstone. Like, I had a fair bit of my own, but I've been raiding the chests, all the chests that AFK Falcon left here, and when he dug out all of this, there's sandstone all through it. It's absolutely everywhere. So I've got a ton of that, and that's what we're going to use to build. Try and take off. Yes. And usually when I build... Oh no, it's still doing this. When I build with sandstone, my favourite thing to put with it is lime green clay. But I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to go for a blue theme, and we'll see how we go with that. And I've actually taken out the... this thing's been playing up a little bit. That tripwire doesn't always detect us. Yes, it shut that time. But I've taken out the trapdoor that was here, and I'll show you why. I'll just grab another one. I had a little wiring issue that I hadn't realised was there, so let's just dump a bit of this stuff. And we'll break you, and we'll put our trapdoor back where it used to be. So we don't need it, because when I come down I hit the ladder and I can walk off anyway. We never needed that trapdoor there. But what would happen when I put my shulker box here to be emptied into the item sorter? Yeah, that's no good. Go away. So yeah, got rid of that now. Oh, I lost my ladder. So I'm going to be mixing blue with the sandstone. And I'm not talking about blue wool or cyan wool or a lapis, although I might use a bit of that in the build. I am talking about these bad boys. And I'm not sure how many I'm going to need, but the only thing that's certain is after this build is complete, I'm not going to be the richest guy on the server. I intend to use a ton of them. So before I start, we have to make sure we've got some incoming diamonds. So I need to restock my lucky break. And I think my mending books are empty as well. So we're going to have to fill them up. And you know what? I've had these super secret areas in my base for a long, long time. And I might show you where they are. So first of all, the Emerald Factory is up here, where the entrance to my base is, just on these redstone lamps. A little bit annoying. I designed them so I have to open them with a redstone torch, and I can't be bothered changing it now, but place a redstone torch there, boom. So all it's doing is when it powers that block right there, it's firing a dropper. The dropper shoots an item into a hopper, and I got a comparator reading off that hopper, and it opens the door, and the pressure plate will just close it behind me. And here's our Emerald Factory. But the one we're using today, and you have to get out of there quickly, that thing tries to get you, is our Villager Trading Hall. That one's down here, and right here I've just got a couple of crates doing nothing much at all. Redstone torch up there, boom, and we can break it. And again, the trapdoor will close it behind us. So here's the old trading hall, the tiny little one, where I've still got my sugarcane farm. And through here, ta-da! Hey, back up. So to get the items for my Lucky Break game, I've got a bunch of armor right here that just leftover stuff that I've picked up in the end cities. Not very good stuff. Or I've just traded with, not with you, with a few of these guys just to get an axe or something like that. So I don't have to use diamonds to make it. So whenever I notice I've got a whole bunch of levels, like 15 is not enough, I'll come over here, grab one of these, Silk Touch, Efficiency 3, and I'll just boost it up. I'll get up to Efficiency 5 and unbreaking and mending, just trading with my villagers, using the books up the back here, and yeah, and I'll just get them absolutely perfect, and then I'll chuck them over here. So these are completed ones, perfect bits of armor, perfect weapons, that sort of thing. And it takes a lot of levels to do this, so I haven't actually been going off and boosting up my levels intentionally. Just whenever I notice, I'll put them in here. But I haven't got quite enough yet, so I'm going to have to do a bit of that, making some armor, because I've been using so many resources on the world engine. I don't really want to be throwing out all my stuff. Like I need a lot of wool and stuff like that. So let's have a look at what I've got a ton of. See, no one wants stone. I've got a few. I haven't got much of that at all. I've got plenty of sandstone. And but I think, yeah, emeralds I've got heaps of. So maybe I can put that in the Lucky Break. Iron, obviously. I've got plenty of glass, but I'm going to be needing that. I think probably the red nether brick is the only thing I have in vast amounts. Maybe bone blocks from the tree farm. Or I could just go over to my AFK tree farm and get a whole ton of oak wood and put those in as well. Clay, nah. Ooh, I do have my gunpowder though, so that might come in handy. I can make a whole bunch of TNT and stuff. So I keep looking over my shoulder. Like, remember I said last episode I found the spawning space. It was up here where that creeper came from. Well, I've got another one somewhere. I was in here just earlier and a spider dropped down on my head. So yeah, we're not completely safe here, and the last thing I want to do is get blown up by a creeper standing right here, because then I'll land in the creeper farm, and that can only end badly. Like, BC was blown up here. I don't know how he didn't land in there. Oh. So I think the first thing we're going to do is get our mending books all sorted. I'll get a whole bunch of them and get that my little chest for selling them filled up, and then we'll start getting some levels and working on some armor for the Lucky Break game. It is so good having your own mending villager, guys. I highly recommend it. Okay, buddy, are you ready to trade with me? You are. Oh, I love your work, mate. Love your work. Ooh, I forgot about another resource I have that I can put in my Lucky Break game, and you don't want to sell it to me. Okay, let's buy a little bit of redstone. Come on, mate. Come on. Do the happy dance. Do it. Do it. Do it. Oh, no. You're not going to do it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Happy dance. Happy. Yes. Okay. Glowstone coming up. You know, my little girl asks me all the time, Daddy, can you teach me redstone? How do you get good at redstone? Because she's 8 and her version of doing redstone is putting a piece of dust on the ground. You know, the way I got good at redstone was by building Space Invaders. Not the tutorial version, but the survival version I did in Season 1 of the Diamond Society. That thing was immense. It was nowhere near as compact as this one here, but it was by just starting that and figuring it all out. That's how I learned to be good at redstone, because in creative I sort of figured out the basic idea of the minecarts dropping down level by level and some of the timing, but everything else in the game, and there are a lot of different things that can happen, I just nutted out in survival, and it probably took me a week down in that cavern playing with redstone. But yeah, it's only by taking on a really big project like that has heaps of different things that you need to happen, and just working through the problems as they arise. That's how you get good at redstone, and then you just got to back yourself. So just start a big project, just back yourself to get it done, and take as much time as you need. And as soon as you can work through redstone problems all on your own, that's when you really start to take off. Like, before I built that, there was no way I could have done a game like Pac-Man, or even something a bit simpler like the AFK tree farm that I put out recently. So yeah, just don't bother going out there and learning all the different circuits. I mean, when you need to figure out how to do a certain thing, sure, look it up. But it's more of just making something huge all on your own, and it doesn't have to be pretty. That's what creative's for afterwards. I always think nut it out on survival, and if you want to do a tutorial, then come back to creative and try and compact it. That's the way I like to do it. Okay, I've built the game. It took me a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, just because of all the design choices I had to make here. So I've built it out of endstone, just because I wanted something that would blend in with the sandstone, but I also wanted it to look a little bit alien, because it'll be coming out of the Stargate. And I've put a bit of a temporary floor up here, because this game's pretty big. We'll get down there. So I've got a big bunker in there that you stand in to shoot at the minecarts. And if I had this in the middle of the room, then it would basically take up the whole area, and it wouldn't look very nice. And I want to design something cool, so this will be the new floor. And people can stand up here and watch the game if they want. And I've started designing some big pillars that are going to go all the way up to the top and hold up the ceiling. And this is just a taste of the diamond blocks I will be using. I'm pretty happy with the design. I think it looks really good. I won't continue using the endstone. It'll be all sandstone from here, but I just wanted to keep using it around the game, like it's creeping in and infecting the area. But I kind of want to make a couple of changes to this. And if you haven't seen my Space Invaders game before, a quick explanation is minecarts will appear up the top there, and after a short delay they'll drop down to the next level and another row of minecarts will appear. So it's just like Space Invaders. They keep coming down level by level, and you need to shoot them all before they disappear down the bottom, because if they go down there, it's game over. Now, just like Space Invaders, they are shooting back at you. So we've got these laser beams right here, and we'll jump into the bunker so you can get a better idea of it. And here we are. So the trick for this game is, while you're shooting the minecarts up there, you don't actually want to be looking at the minecarts. You want to be looking at the laser beams down the bottom, because they'll light up and it'll come towards you pretty quickly. And you need to get out of the way, because where I've got these creeper blocks here, there's crushers behind there. So a piston will extend and it'll crush you, and you won't be able to see anything. It's not going to kill you, but it'll hold you up for a little while. And while you're held up in the crusher, you're not shooting minecarts. So I actually want to change this a little bit, because in Season 1 I made it. So if like this laser beam fired and you're stuck in the corner, and then this one fired, there was a little alcove here you could disappear into, but that's not there anymore. So if you're stuck in the corner and then this one fires, yeah, there's no going anywhere. So I just want to decrease the amount of times that the laser beams on the outside there fire. So let's just duck into the redstone, and I'll show you how I'm doing that. It's pretty simple. It's just a dropper randomizer, if I can find it. So here we go. So every time the minecarts drop down another level, this dropper is going to fire. And all of these items put out a signal strength of 1, except for the shovel. So if it happens to be the shovel that gets fired, this comparator is going to read a signal strength of 2, and that torch will turn off and the laser beam will fire. So to decrease this, I'm just going to decrease it slightly. We'll add one more item. So now, rather than a 1 in 6 chance of being fired, the one on the outside has a 1 in 7 chance. It won't be much of a difference, but I think it will add to the enjoyment of the gameplay a little bit more. Now, there's something else I noticed. Like, this thing is, where is it? Over here I've got the clock for the minecart. So this will run around in a bit of a delay, and every now and then the torch will turn on, and that triggers the minecarts to drop down another level. Now, this is pretty easy when you're playing this on creative, so I would set it like that. So I'd have a shorter delay and the minecarts would drop down really quickly, and that was hard for me. But with server lag, the easy version that I've got there is pretty hard, because in creative, when you're doing your bow shots, you can do like half draws of the bow. Like, you don't want to draw the bow back the entire way, or you'll run out of time to shoot them all. But with server lag, if you start doing those half draws of the bow, you get a lot of misfires. So I need to slow the minecarts down even more. So if you have followed my tutorial, there is a tutorial for this. I'll link it in the description. If you have followed the tutorial and you've built it on a server and you're thinking, gee, this is hard, well, just pay a little bit of attention. It's not going to be a pretty fix, but I'm going to do a little bit of a fix here just to make this a longer delay. And I put the stairs in here because I want the players to be able to come down and easily change it. So I want to bring one of the repeaters up to here. So I'm going to add one more repeater, but I want to bring it up to here so they can easily just click it a few times and adjust the speed of the minecart descent, but I don't want any exposed redstone. So I'm going to go get some blocks and we'll have a go at this. Well, this is lovely. Just trying to do a little bit of redstone here, and I discover if I break the wrong block, I could fall to my death. That's not good. We might keep the pearls in the hotbar just in case we need to get out of there in a hurry. So what do I want to do here? I think I'm going to move these repeaters here around. I might just cut while I replace these. Okay, so I've just moved these repeaters over another block just to give us a little bit of room, and I put some dust up there so the clock will still continue, but I want to bring this signal up to here where we can adjust it, and that's where we'll add the extra repeater. So this torch is powering the dust there, but I want to bring it up, and if I put the block on top of the torch, There we go, it's still powering the dust. So we'll come up another block and we'll run that signal. Hang on, I'll get up here. We'll run that signal into a block. I'll have to change that out for sandstone later. And temporary one there, we'll get rid of that. This is where we'll put our repeater, the extra one. So I'll set that on a max delay. Come on, max delay. There we go. And do I have any sandstone on me? Let's just do the sandstone right now. And I'm accidentally triggering the minecarts every time I power this, so I'll have to reset all this later. So I've put in the sandstone. This looks a little bit neater, and I'll just put one at the back so we can't see any redstone at all. Creeper sandstone, that will do. Boom, right there. So they can just come in here and adjust the repeater. So that's on a full delay. They might think, oh, that last game was pretty easy. Let's set it onto a shorter delay. So it's a little bit not as compact as it was before, but I think it's looking good. Then all we have to do is bring this signal back down to the clock. There we go. And that's done. I think it's pretty cool. I've got to figure out how to reset that now. But there is one other thing I wanted to do, because I'm putting a longer delay on this because of server lag. Maybe someone whose game's not as laggy as mine will come in and play this and finish the game really quickly, but the game clock's still running. So they might shoot all the minecarts and think, oh cool, I've won the game, let's have another one, and they push the start button again before this hopper clock has finished counting down the game time. So I need to disable that button while the game's running. So when you're inside the bunker, you push the button and the signal comes down here. So I think this repeater is the best place to disable it. So I'll need another repeater going into the side there. So while the game's running, I need that powered, and that'll lock that repeater so no signal can get through. Now, this line of redstone here is always on while the game's running, so I just need to connect it over there. So we'll bring it up this way, and I don't want to inadvertently bud power that piston, so we'll put a slab there and some stone bricks. I always put my redstone on stone bricks. There we go, that should do it. So to enter the game, I've put a little bit of a staircase down here. Obviously I've got a bit more work to do decorating the thing. And in the door we come and push the button to start. And it's really tricky at the, feel the lag spike there. It's really tricky at the start of the game because you got to shoot the minecarts up the top, but you can barely see. I got stuck. I didn't see that laser beam coming. As the minecarts get lower to the bottom, it'll be a lot easier to see those laser beams. Oh, there's a bit of a misfire. Oh, he nearly got me. I'm concentrating more on the minecarts than the laser beams at the moment, which is not a good thing. This is much easier with this delay. It was near impossible before. Ah, laser beam. If this game seems really short... Ah, no! If this game seems really short, it's probably because I'm just cutting out the boring bits. Oh no, we got a minecart nearly at the bottom and a laser beam's coming. Get out of the way. Gotta get that one. Okay. I think we're back in control. Oh no, misfire. Gotta get him. Yes, this new delay is definitely necessary. Concentrate on the laser beams, Cortez. Stop looking at the minecarts. Oh no, I didn't even shoot then. Oh no. Oh no, even with the new delay I'm going to struggle. Oh, I've got to get 3 now. Yep. Oh, I'm toast. I'm toast. Oh no, there's no way I can get this. No, I tried to do a half draw on my bow. Yes, crash and burn. Can you? Oh, yes. Let me out. Those crashes are supposed to stop when the lava starts, but occasionally funny things can happen with all the lag. Ooh, I forgot something. Because I increased the delay, I didn't. It takes longer for the minecarts to come down, but I didn't increase the game clock, so the game stopped before all the minecarts got down the bottom. So okay, this should be an easy fix for one repeater on a full delay. I think 10 more blocks in my hopper clock should do the trick. Where are they? Oh, I should put stone in there. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'll add an extra 10. So 2 stacks of 64 and a stack of 20, and that should be good. We might test this one more time just to make sure all the minecarts get to the bottom before the game finishes. And I really should have had something to eat before I started this game. These crushers could kill me. Someone just joined the game and I'm sure they're talking to me, but I am not reading it right now. Come on. Oh, there's a minecart there. Can we win this game? Can we win it? We're going to win! And I don't have the tune for the... no blocks playing it, so it's going to do a dull thud when the game finishes. I just heard it there. It's like a thunk. So that will play a tune. I've put in a request for Hodag. Well, I did an unofficial request. I sort of just mentioned it to him in the chat. I want him to do the note block tune for when you win. So when you win, rather than that lava, it's a signal's going to pass in here and play a note block tune. So I've just got one note block there to say where it is. But I'm thinking if it's possible for Hodag to make this play the theme from Stargate. I think that'd be pretty awesome when you win. Alright, I think my delay on those minecarts coming down was good. I think I might actually do a dry run without shooting the minecarts just to make sure they all get to the bottom. But I'm not going to force you guys to watch that. I'm going to get out of here before the crashes start. And yeah, then we've got some more room decorating to do. Yes, I know I said that this episode would be more about the room than it was the game, but the episode's running long, guys. So we're going to leave it here. This is Cortezerino reporting from Ground Zero of the alien invasion. See you later.